Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Collecting 101. My name is Mike, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about Corningware. We're going to delve into the history, the popularity, as well as the value of your Corningware collection. So let's start it off today with history.
Let's go back 70 years to 1953, when S. Donald Stuckey discovered pyroceram, a white glass ceramic capable of withstanding a thermal shock of up to 840 degrees Fahrenheit, and all by accident. See, he was working with photosensitive glass and placed a piece into a furnace trying to heat it up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. When he checked the furnace, it was actually at 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and the glass turned milky white. And when he tried to discard the glass, he grabbed it with his tongs, but it slipped out of its grip and fell to the floor, but didn't break. Now, pyroceram was originally developed for the World War II ballistic missile program as a heat-resistant material for nose cones on missiles. After the war, it was found out it could be an effective bakeware as well, being that it was a glass ceramic non-porous material capable of withstanding sudden temperature changes and was resistant to stains and odors. It was introduced commercially by the Corning Glassworks Company in 1958. It was a huge success in North America in the 60s and 70s. Consumers quickly found out the versatility of Corningware and how it could go from freezer to oven to tabletop, and it could be used inside of a broiler or microwave, and at the time it was the only product of its kind that could be used on the stovetop. Now, due to its popularity, the material became available in products such as skillets, teapots, percolating coffee pots, as well as casserole dishes. In 1972, Corral was introduced as Corral by Corning, with offering high-quality dishware. And as we know of Corral today, it's one of the best products on the market. Now, nowadays, Corningware is going strong. With the trends going towards the retro vintage style, consumers are always on the hunt for vintage Corningware. Now, with plenty of patterns and designs, which we'll be discussing in the next section, I believe Corningware will be a popular item to be collected for years to come. All right, guys, let's get on to the popularity.
All right, so let's get into the popularity of Corningware. So we're going to discuss some of the most desirable patterns you want to be out there looking for. So the first one we're going to talk about today is Cornflower Blue. Now, this was developed from 1958 to 1988 and became the trademark pattern for Corningware and the most popular amongst collectors. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is Starburst. This was made from the late 1950s to the early 1960s. This pattern was associated with the space race and is one of the most desirable patterns for collectors. The next one we're going to talk about is Floral Bouquet. This was made from 1971 to 1975. The pattern was blue and yellow flower blossoms, and as you can see in this picture, very beautiful pattern. The next one is Blue Heather. This was made in the mid-1970s. It was small 5-petal flowers, similar to Cornflower Blue, which increased its popularity due to its similar look. The next one is Nature's Bounty. Now, this was made in 1971. It was a mustard yellow with vegetable look. I really like this one. I think this one is very retro and right up my alley. The next one is the Country Festival, or also known as the Friendship Bird. This was made in the late 1970s, features 2 bluebirds facing each other, and it has the typical 70s era color scheme as well. We all know those mustard yellows, the browns. We all know the traditional 70s look. The next up is the Spice of Life. This was made from 1972 to 1987. It is one of the most produced and purchased pattern along with the Cornflower Blue. And it's the one we come across the most of as well. We see a lot of these at estate sales and garage sales. The Spice of Life, it's a really awesome pattern and it always sells at the shop. The next one we're going to talk about is French White. This was made from 1978 all the way into the early 1990s. It was hugely popular in the 70s among homemakers and chefs. And due to its use by popular chefs, it became really popular in the home as well, and a lot of homemakers were out there looking for it due to that fact that those chefs were out there using it on TV and in their recipe books as well. The next one we're going to talk about is Wildflower. This was made from 1977 to 1984. It was a yellow, blue, and green orange flowers and very popular in the early 80s. Now, the last one we're going to discuss today is English Meadow. This was made from the 1980s into the mid-1990s. Now, this was really a show of British culture, very popular amongst newlyweds as well as collectors. So yeah, guys, that's the popularity today in Corningware. Some of these patterns are super rare and hard to come by, which will definitely increase the value, which we'll talk about in the next section. And some of these other ones are just so beautiful. I mean, Corningware is one of those pieces, just simple changes in colors and patterns really change the look of it, and I really appreciate that. All right, guys, so let's get on to value. All right, so let's get into the value of your Corningware. Now, we always like to start off with condition. You want no chips, no cracks, no repairs. It's really becoming a broken record. When you have these kind of pieces that are ceramic, glass, pottery, you want them to be flawless, and that's the way it's going to hold the most value. All right, so what are you going to be out there exactly looking for? Now, most Corningware you'll see is very easily marked, but there is some Corningware that doesn't contain the pyrocerum. Now, this will be marked on the bottom with not for stovetop use. The marks on the bottom will usually contain the pattern name and production number, as I'm showing you in these pictures here. Now, when you're out there, what exactly do you want to be out there looking for that's going to contain the most value? Yes, it's going to take some research. You want to do some research. If you're going to start collecting or reselling anything, the more research you do, the better. So you want to research rare patterns. You always want to be looking for the percolating coffee pots and making sure they're complete, as well as lids. Lids are very important. Finding the dish is awesome, but having a lid that goes with it means so much more and definitely ups the value. So let's get into, the value actually of Corningware. Now, there is a great collector's market for Corningware. A lot of people out there buying it, not only to collect it, but also to use it, which makes it really sought after, because sometimes when people are only collecting something, you're going to really narrow down your market. But when you have people that are out there using it as well as collecting it, it makes the market that much bigger. So most pieces of Corningware you can find, you can get it, the smaller pieces anywhere from $10 to $20. But I'm telling you guys, they go from 10 to 20 up to $500 to over $1,000 for some of these pieces of Corningware. There's some really rare patterns out there that can fetch a lot of money. So that's why you got to do your research and make sure you guys are on point to what you're out there looking for. Now, for me personally, I think a lot of the reason people collect the Corningware because it brings back a lot of nostalgia. It brings back the memories of family dinners, holiday get-togethers. I mean, to me, Corningware was always present at every family dinner or holiday gathering that we had. It was something that was so versatile, like we talked about in the history section. It can be used at anywhere from the stovetop to the tabletop, which is amazing, and it also again creates that larger market. All right, guys, let's get into my favorite part of the Collecting 101s, and that is the top 3 highest sold listings on eBay of Corningware. Now, I will preface this by saying that there is some things of Corningware that was multiple of the same kind that sold. So I'm trying to find 3 different things that sold. So yeah, if you do look, you'll see some higher numbers that I found on some of these, but it's also the same ones I've stated before. So if number 3 is 2 and 1, or say number 1 is number 1, but obviously number 2 couldn't be the same as number 1. So I'm trying to make it different, if that makes sense. So number 3 on our list today is actually a Spice of Life La Marjolaine 2-quart casserole dish with lid, sold for over $1,500. Crazy number for a piece of Corningware. Number 2 on our list today is the Spice of Life 3-quart dish with lid. Like I said, you guys are noticing with lids. I'm telling you, it's really important when you guys are out there collecting. But this piece sold for over $3,000. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys see this stuff out there. It is definitely worth looking at, especially finding these rare quartz. I'm telling you, you guys can find some really hidden pieces in there. Number 1 on our list is going to be the blue cornflower 1-quart dish with lid that sold for over $6,600. Now, these rare size of dishes are going to be what you're going to be out there looking for, guys. I'm telling you, if you go onto eBay sold listings, I've seen some for $14,000, $15,000. I didn't want to, give you guys the high hopes on those because I didn't know, because some were benefiting charity, and I was like, okay, maybe someone just bid it up to benefit charity. Other ones were taking best offers, so I didn't want to show you those as well because I didn't know what the best offer was. The best offer could have been drastically lower. So these right here are the top 3 I found that were all different, that, hopefully you guys can kind of see that the Corningware does hold value and people are out there buying it. These were things with multiple bids on them from people on eBay. So if there's multiple bids out there, you know there's people out there looking for it. So when you guys are at your thrift stores and your garage sales, I'm telling you, Corningware is prevalent at those places. Be on the lookout because you never know what you might be able to find. All right, guys, that's our video. I really hope you enjoyed this on Corningware. I'm telling you, this is some of the most popular stuff out there that is actually stuff you can find on the market pretty easily. I mean, like I said, garage sales and estate sales, you can find this stuff all the time. So definitely keep your eye out there and know what you're looking for. Know those different sizes and make sure it's complete, make sure the condition's good, and you might have a gem on your hand. So guys, I'm telling you, thank you all so much for watching. If you got it in you, give me a like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. Much appreciated. In that comment section below, keep adding more ideas you guys want to see for Collecting 101 videos. I love doing these. We got a lot of knowledge from doing this for over decades now that you guys, I'm telling you, we got a lot we'd love to pass along to you and keep, extending this community the way we've done. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And when we talk about collecting, it's always about your memories over money. See you guys later.